first let's talk about playing through the melody. Okay, so what I'll do first is just play the melody for you. Okay, so there's the melody, Stella by Starlight. And really, it's just a matter of learning it. You can play it in all different places in the neck, which you should learn how to do. But there's nothing necessarily special you can do with it. But one thing I can suggest, and spicing it up a little bit, is over some of the chords, you'll notice that there's whole notes playing over the chords. And rather than just playing the melody note, what we can do is we can actually add a chord underneath it to fill out the harmony a little bit. Particularly if it's a smaller band setting like a trio, you can sort of fill up some of the space not just by playing the melody but including some of the chords in it. Let me give you an example. In the third bar we have this C minor 7 chord, and you'll notice that there's an F in the melody, right? So what I like to do is I like to put a C minor 7 underneath that bar, right? So let me play it from the top. So it goes. So again, I'll sort of find a way to play this F note so that I can fit the C minor 7 underneath it. One way I can do it as an example is if I play the F on the first fret of the high E string, okay, and underneath that you can play a C minor 7 chord that you might be familiar with. I'm going to voice it a little bit differently because my fingers have to kind of get to this a little differently, being that my first finger is already playing the melody note. So what I'll do is I'll use my second finger on the third fret of the A string for the C. I'll use my third finger on the third fret of the G string, that's the B flat, and my pinky will play the fourth fret on the B string. Okay, and it gives me this F note on the top, C minor 7 chord on the bottom, which is really like a C minor 11. Okay, so again, it would sound something like this. Even in the first chord, the E minor 7 flat 5, I like to put a chord underneath that. And some other places we can do this just as a suggestion. Let's see. In the first bar of the third 8-bar section, it's the G 7 with the sharp 5. The melody notes on the E flat or D sharp, which is the sharp 5. So underneath it, I like to, put a chord underneath that. And we can alter a little bit. I like to actually play a G7 sharp 9 underneath that. So again, if my pinky is playing this D sharp or E flat, which is the 11th fret on the high E string, underneath that I'll play 10th fret A string, which is a G with my second finger, 9th fret D string with my first finger, that's the B, 10th fret G string with my third finger, the F natural, and I'll actually use my pinky to bar the 11th fret on the B and E strings, which gives me that sharp 5 on the top, but also a sharp 9 too. Because we can alter this chord a little bit. So it would sound a little something like this. Leading up to it, it would go. And then go back into the melody. So again, finding ways to put the chord underneath the melody definitely rounds out the sound, fills in the harmony, and makes for a little bit more interesting listening.